Okay, so the binding table IPv6, you must understand the binding table first before you start learning the snooping, source guard, destination guard, any of those protocols, because most of the time the binding table is being used uh, to utilize those protocols, right? So let's get started. There isn't much information even on the Cisco website. If you look at here, IPv6 security binding table. This isn't like huge topic. It will literally take like 15 minutes if you want to revise and learn what it is. But I'll just try to highlight the important things about it so you don't have to read those boring white papers. And this might be your revision video. You can watch it to revise the bullet points. One thing I want to make sure is before you start learning about these topics, you have a basic understanding of how IP version 6 operates, um, how the NDP works, so neighbor discovery protocol. So you must understand those topics before you start learning this topic, because otherwise it will not make sense and you will be demotivated, and we don't want that. So as I said, it's used by the DHCP guard, source guard, etc. And this is created using the neighbor discovery protocol, which is like ARP in IP version 4. And the binding table, which basically the binding table is a database on the switch, which verifies that, okay, this link local address is, I'm expecting these packets on gigabit 1/1. But if for some reason this shows up on gigabit 1/2, switch already knows that, okay, there is a problem. And this feature is utilized by those other protocols that we'll be talking in the later videos. And then the recovery mechanism will stop any incoming packet from unfamiliar sources. The source is configured familiar if it is already listed in network table, which was previously identified through the specific processes like NDP or DHCP. So what that is let me see if I have that picture. Okay, so let's choose a brush and the color, I'll go with the red because it's much brighter. So for example, there is a address, I'll say it's FE colon colon something something 9, okay? And the switch, it knows that it's connected to the Ethernet 0/0, and it will store that in the database. And now the switch know FE something something 9 is connected to this interface, but for some reason, if it shows up on this interface, then we have a bigger problem. So now the switch is able to protect from such attacks like IP spoofing, etc. We'll look in those in more details, but this is the mechanism how switch verifies that, okay, if you're not in my database and or you're coming from the wrong interface, I'm dropping you. Okay, so that's pretty much it about the binding table. Basically, it's used by other protocols, and how it works is it uses the protocols. For example, how the lab works. Let me choose the pen. How when you have a operational network, you will have a router advertisement messages. You will have a neighbor discovery protocol. So switch is constantly learning and storing all the information to its database. Okay, so yeah, anything abnormal, switch will just discard it or according to the policy you have in place. Okay, that's pretty much about the binding table.